You know, I view life as a very real game in which there are no timeouts, no substitutions, and the clock is always running. I used to think it was a scrimmage or a drill that I'd get to instant replay my life, and I found out that every day is the Super Bowl, every day is the Olympics, every day is the World Series, every day is the grand final. Life is a real game.
Ladies and gentlemen, people who are driven are willing to do today what others won't, to have tomorrow what others won't. To lead a unique life, you have to do extraordinary things, and that usually means putting in the work and loving it. No one is going to build the future you want for you. We get one opportunity to live this life, one shot.
Whether you had a good year or a bad year, I have good and bad news for you. The good news is tomorrow's a new day. The bad news is if you, the today version of you, doesn't change one thing about you today, tomorrow is going to be the same over and over and over again.
And the winners in life, well, they're like you. They never whine. They come in fourth exhausted but exhilarated because they came in fifth last time. Winners treat animals like people, and people like brothers and sisters. Losers criticize everyone and bring them down to their miserable level because misery loves company. A loser is a person in this abundant country that would like to look like, earn like, and take time off like somebody else, but doesn't work to try to become that, just wishes about it. A spectator in life wouldn't be here tonight and wouldn't be watching this. They're too busy escaping from the goals they never set and from the roles they can't imagine themselves to be in.
Life is too short for excuses. I want you to pause and imagine your dream. You have to step out of your comfort zone. If we all woke up being ordinary, we'd all start the same. But you've made the decision that you're not going to let life, events, or people determine who you become. That decision comes from within yourself. No one else is responsible for it. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to act. Failure is only permanent if you choose not to rise again. What you do today will shape your future. So ask yourself, what do you envision for your future? What has brought you here today? What made you get up? You're closer than you've ever been before. Remember, those 15 minutes of hesitation are not worth the rest of your life. It's not easy, but it's always worth it. You woke up this morning to chase your dream. Until you catch it, you must sacrifice who you were. When you want to sleep, get up. Don't avoid difficulty. Run toward it. It's always darkest before the dawn. Give 120% every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Each day is a fresh start. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. It's a new day, a new opportunity. If setbacks come your way, embrace them. Not every day will go as planned, but something is always happening. You must make it happen for the right reasons.
See, I tell you today because the message I'm going to cover with you today is to show you how to crack the code to one of your own limiting beliefs that's been holding you back from living the life that you want to live. What's so interesting with so many people that I mentor, I sat down with somebody yesterday going through their business plan, and after an hour and a half of conversation with this grown man who's a successful individual, but he's been plateauing at a level, it took us an hour and a half away until there was an emotional breakdown, and the conversation was about a deep limiting beliefs. It's one limiting beliefs that was holding this man back, and he had to address it. And there's only one person that can crack the code to your limiting belief, and that's you. I'll show you the system, but only one person can do something about it. So you can either live this life for another 40, 50, 60, 70 years, however long you're gonna live, and just be the same thing all over again, another year all over again, another all over again, or you can make the decision to say, I want to live the life, the full capacity life of me. I don't want to crack this code. Simple as that. So we're going to go through that here together. So how to break the curse of your limiting beliefs.
I used to think winning was in the talent, but the world's full of talented losers. I used to think winning was in the education, so I lined my den with diplomas, unable to relate to people. Winning is on the street. School is never out for the professional. You keep on learning. I thought winning was in the way you looked, but I found out that people that didn't look too good ended up being great. I thought it was the gift at birth, but I found out so many people had a lot going in, they took nothing out. Some people had nothing going in, they took everything out. I found out that winning was all in the attitude. It's all in how you look at it. Your attitude is either the lock on or key to your door of success. Either locks you out or opens it up for you. And I'd like to give you the attitudes and action steps that make a real winner in life. I mean the kind of winner that helps other winners too. If you win, I win. Only if you win do I win. And that's the real winner in life, the ones that build other winners too. I'd like to give you those high-performance ideas that are common in people who become so uncommonly successful. And there are 5 winning attitudes I'd like to share with you tonight and today and the rest of your life. One idea worth taking home. What if they were 5 Olympic rings and we were all Olympians, which we are? And what if you could transmit them to everyone you meet? Everyone you meet. The first winning attitude that I found is positive self-awareness. What good does it do to be motivated to a dream if you don't see it for you, if you don't see your own potential? We've been selling ourselves short since we were children. You see, we associated ourselves with our mistakes. When my kids were good, it was natural. I just didn't say anything. But when they were bad, I was the first one to criticize them, to point out their mistakes, and they began to associate themselves with their mistakes instead of their successes. And they reinforced maybe what was wrong with them. They labeled themselves. I was labeled when I was young, I gotta admit, Dumbo ears, beaver teeth, buzzard beak, motor mouth, metal mouth, and turtle breath. And they said the turtle died, too, in your case. And I've never gotten over those early labels, and my awareness as a result has been limited. You never outgrow the limits you set. You only set new ones within which you must live. And habits start like offhanded notions, flimsy cobwebs at first, then with practice, like unbreakable cables to strengthen or shackle a life. The limits of the human are self-imposed. I've been to the UCLA Brain Institute, and I can tell you for sure, the human mind, in the ability to create a new place to grow, to imagine, to remember, to make things that never existed before, to lead a new life, to get out of the ghetto to greatness, is unlimited, only limited by our own vision of ourselves. But somewhere along the way, we put the lid on ourselves and self-limited. I've decided to blow the lid off finally and get some positive self-awareness.
Believe in yourself every day. Have the faith to understand that it's up to you to make a difference. Realize that your only competition is yourself. They may appear to be winning on the outside, but if you're losing on the inside, you need to overcome that. Shut down every negative thought when it arises. Use the 5-second rule. Take 5 seconds to act on your impulse before it's gone. Don't wait. Get up and go after it. Rise and grind. Rise and shine. Rise and climb. Rise and give everything you've got. Life will test you. It starts off easy, but eventually things get harder. People push back. The world pushes back. When you feel like you've given all you've got, find something else. Turn on that grind switch. Get down and dirty. Do whatever it takes to get what you want. Go out there with everything you've got. It's time to set yourself on fire. Live passionately. Put yourself in a position to do what you love every day. Rise and grind, because greatness comes from facing adversity, which builds resilience, leading to success. Wake up early, go to bed late, be in grind mode. See the sun, see yourself, and live in shine mode. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. If you're not where you want to be, it's time to enter redesign mode. You were born to win. Don't fear hard work. Don't be afraid to grind harder, to sweat it out. I guarantee that it will change your life, change your mindset, and you will expand, not shrink. Rise and grind. Those who have a mindset of greatness are obsessed with winning. They see the outcome from the very beginning. If you can't get up and chase after it, how can you expect to win? If you can't get up and push forward, how can you expect to reach the next level? If you can't rise up and keep going, how can you expect to raise the championship banner of your life? It's time to shift your perspective. The truth is, you must put something in to get something out. You will face bad days, but you need to keep grinding. You'll want to quit, but you have to keep grinding. This is a crucial part of your journey. It's a decision you have to make within yourself, and no one else can make it for you. Pressure will build as life moves forward. Life will bring ups and downs, mountains and valleys. Some of you may have a backstory filled with difficulties, traumas, and struggles that others can't fully understand. But here's the truth. Pressure doesn't ruin us, it shapes us. Pressure can either create diamonds or break a pipe. The challenge isn't whether you face pressure, but what you'll do with it. Will you let it break you, or will you step up and recognize that challenges can become valuable opportunities? When you take control of your reactions and responses, pressure can become the force that creates something powerful, like a diamond. We develop habits and behaviors over time, often unintentionally. It's not that we mean to fall into negative patterns, but we're influenced by the people we're around, by our environment, by the things we're exposed to. We pick up tendencies. I know I caught habits from my father growing up. He masked his struggles with a fake smile, pretending everything was fine. But when I was alone, I was struggling silently, screaming inside but staying quiet on the outside. At a certain point, I decided I wouldn't wait for a perfect moment to begin changing my life. I took a stand in the middle of discomfort. I realized that hard work works. Make good choices and good things will happen. There's never a wrong time to do what's right.
Few things you got to know about life, right? We got issues with faith that we struggle with. We have family, friendship, relationship, marriage. We have finance, business, health, and politics. Now, on each one of these, you may have a limiting belief, because think about it. There are people, you ever hear people that, will brag about the fact that they are, very good in their health, and they have six packs, and they have good bodies, and they work out 7 times a week, and you see them showing their legs, and they do all this stuff, and they're in such good shape, right? No money in the bank account, no good personal life, no good marital life, not a good faith, but they have an incredible body. Why is that? Well, because they don't have limiting beliefs in their health, but they do have limiting beliefs in other areas of your life. I don't know what your limiting belief is in what area, but I promise you there's a limiting belief that's holding you back in each one of the areas. Let's give you an idea. One could be faith. You could be somebody that grew up in a church, and I hear this happen all the time. The pastor gets up one day and says, I've been having an affair with somebody in the church, and I'm stepping down. And all of a sudden you say, I will never go to a church ever again. That is a limiting belief because of an event took place to you when you were 16 years old, and your parents were so disappointed and you were devastated, and now you don't believe in God because you based everything of your faith was a vertical relationship, and you were disappointed by horizontal because somebody around you let you down. So that is a limiting belief, and you need to crack the code to it. So you don't believe there's a God, or you're an atheist, you're an agnostic, or whatever, or churches that just want to make money. Because I remember one time we gave this pastor money, he came in a Bentley, and it doesn't matter. I don't know your limiting belief. But if you have a faith issue, you have a limiting belief here that you can address. And if it's important to you, you'll be able to crack the code of your family, friendship, relationship, marriage. So let's look at that one. You may be afraid of having kids. Why? Because your mom or dad wasn't a good mom and she left or he left, and you're afraid that if you have a kid, you're going to be like that, and it's going to hurt you, and you're afraid to have kids because you were hit and abused when you were a kid growing up, and you're afraid that maybe you're going to do that and no one knows about that, but it's a fear that you've been arrested, it's a prison. No one knows it. Relationship. Your parents got a divorce. You're afraid of getting married because if you do get married, what if somebody gets a divorce, or if you're a woman and every time you date a man and all of a sudden you realize this is a good guy, they could be married, you cheat on him and you go with somebody else because you don't want to break, you don't want it to get too serious, because what if you get serious and then 17 years later when your parents were married, your father left and broke it, all that stuff. It's so deep, but it is a limiting belief that's holding you back. If it is, that's the area. Friendships. You have a hard time keeping friends because one of your friends that was your best friend ended up dating your boyfriend at that time, and you have a hard time trusting friendships, or you had a father that left, so you have a hard time trusting men all your life, or you had a mother that said all these negative things about you and she doesn't believe in you and all that stuff, so you have a hard time working with other women in your life because there was something in your life that's a limiting belief that's stopping you from working with those people in a right relationship. Marriage could be the same thing, lots of them. Finance. You grew up in a family where your father worked very hard and all of a sudden he lost everything that he had. You were devastated, lived in 3 different homes, so you think money sucks and anybody that works that hard should have stayed home. Why did my dad work? That's a limiting belief. You think money's terrible. You have a family that you grew up poor and you saw your mom and dad struggle over money, so you're afraid of money, your scarcity. Every time you go, you think you're gonna lose everything you have, so you hoard all your money, you cover all your money, because that's a limiting belief that you've been living with for a while. And unless you crack the code, you're gonna live with that forever.
I ask myself the question, if it weren't for time and money and circumstance, what would I be? Are you kidding? I'd be terrific. But I don't have the time. I was a veteran and served in the war, and I went to school a lot, and my dad was a warehouseman. If it weren't for the money, if I had the money. We were born poor like you were, and First thing you know, I never saw any money for us. I went into education to seal my fate, make sure I never earned any of that stuff, but I couldn't see it for me. If it weren't for my circumstance, are you kidding? I'm a Gemini. My dad was a warehouseman. I was the middle child, caught in a sandwich. I know a guy that didn't make it because he was the only child, no feedback. I know somebody that didn't make it because they were the youngest child, only got hand-me-downs second-hand. I know somebody didn't make it because they were the oldest child, had to take care of all the little kids in the family. And we talked to each other, and we found out there was time and money and circumstance. If I had the time, Ray Kroc, 54, selling paper cups, golden arches, McDonald's at age 54, the beginning. Grandma Moses, 75, painted her first painting at 75 years old. Went on to paint 500 to 700 masterpieces after age 75. I've always liked George Burns. I can't die, I'm booked. If I had the time, we've got the time. If it weren't for the money, if I had the money. Remember old Walt? I'll tell you, what a loser he was. Walt Disney, are you kidding? He was bankrupt for the second time. Can you imagine going in? What guts it takes. Had a hand puppet named Steamboat Willie. He talked in a falsetto voice. He was the first voice of Mickey Mouse. Hey, I got a deal for you. I want to give you a cartoon during silent movies. Get out of here, Walt. Another one of them crazy ideas. He believed in his dream when he only had a dream to hang on to. He was as successful when he was broke with a hand puppet as he was when Disneyland and Disney World opened. It's just that money flows to great ideas and to persistence. And you and I will get the money because it flows to us if we work. If it weren't for my circumstance, I think of a woman in history, middle-aged, Midwest, garment district of the United States, went down with her husband to the kibbutz, and they had marital problems and were divorced, and bun on the back, roll down hose. Not so beautiful on the outside, but oh, how brilliant and beautiful on the inside was Golda Meir, one of the great woman prime ministers of the world. Grandma with a bun and roll down hose, if it weren't for my circumstance. You and I have that, and that's what positive self-awareness is all about. Not seeing the limits and understanding that we are self-limiting.
Hard work and making good choices will always create opportunities for your dreams and plans to take shape. In the middle of a seemingly hopeless storm, I found the courage to face what I feared most, myself. Transparency, accountability, and realizing that action and choices matter, that's the key. When you do your best and treat others how you'd like to be treated, opportunities will come, even in the middle of storms. Don't lose sight of the fact that you are a critical thinker. You have the power to process, rationalize, and make decisions. It's inside you. Don't settle for anything less than authenticity. If you want to reach new heights, you have to do things you've never done before. You have to say things you've never said before. You have to go to places within yourself that you've never been. You're not sentenced to this life, you chose it. For years, I've realized that the things I took for granted could be taken away. So now, when I have a chance to challenge someone or communicate a message, I take it. I long to live a life where I confront myself every day, to resolve conflicts within myself, and to commit to being open, honest, and responsible with my time, energy, and focus. Let me share something with you. The easiest thing I've ever done was earn $1 million. The hardest thing I've ever done was believing I could achieve it. We all want to do something, be someone, go somewhere, but if these things are going to happen, we must stop gravitating toward excuses. You have a destiny to fulfill. You have a purpose to live out. You have rooms to walk into, stages to stand on, and tables to sit at. But you need to restructure your thinking. You're ready to do this for your family, for your mother, for your father. You're ready to make history and do something others never thought possible. We mistake comfort for fulfillment. Let me tell you, comfort is complacency. True accomplishment comes from stepping beyond comfort. I choose not to be a common person. It's my right to be uncommon. I seek opportunity, not security. I want to take risks, dream big, and build. I refuse to live in mediocrity. If you doubt yourself, nothing will get done. When you doubt yourself, every obstacle feels bigger. Don't doubt yourself. You have to believe in your ability to win. We get one chance to live this life. Life is too short for excuses. I'm here to talk to the change makers, those ready to confront their future, their calling. If you're in love with who you're meant to become, there are no days off. Don't wait another minute. The journey is tough. It requires discipline, sacrifice, and perseverance. It's a mindset. It's not over until you win. People who make excuses are disconnected from their destination. They lack goals and a sense of purpose. They settle for weak excuses. But is there anyone here with a dream? Are you ready? Say it with me. I am ready. Pain is inevitable. Whatever you're after, whatever you're becoming, pain is part of the process. It doesn't matter your status in life. Pain will come. Embrace it. Let it shape you. There is a reward on the other side of your pain. Every challenge, hardship, or setback is a chance to rise and prove that nothing can stop you. If you go to the gym, it's gonna hurt. Your muscles will tear, but on the other side of that pain lies a reward. You won't regret taking care of your body. The reward for making healthy decisions is discipline, longevity, influence, and power. Do you want results? Do you want a reward, or do you want regrets? The choice is yours.
Money. So you either don't deserve it, you make $180,000 a year, but you really only think you're 60, so you're being overpaid, so you take that 120 that you're making and you waste it on cars, jewelry, everything, and 3 years later you lose everything again. Because your limiting belief is a 60. Man, I'm getting overpaid. These people don't even know I'm not worth 180. There is a limiting belief problem there. Another one is health, right? You grew up in a family, people generally didn't take care of their health, so you kind of will eat whatever it is, cheesecake, sweets, late night, you don't work out, you don't exercise, your parents didn't work out, nobody exercised, somebody did, somebody got hurt, exercise is not good, all this other stuff, so you don't exercise. Politics, you hate Republicans because your parents hate Republicans. Because a president that was a president 28 years ago that did one law or one thing that they changed, and your father says, I hate Ronald Reagan because Ronald Reagan wasn't fair to immigrants. He's the worst president of all time. We're not Republicans in my family. So my family, we're Hispanic, we're Democrats. We're African American, we're Democrats. We're Middle Eastern, we're Democrats, is what we are. Or, I grew up in a family and I saw my mom or my dad, they were on welfare all the time, always Section 8, taking advantage of everything. And, they weren't really working. They could have worked. I cannot stand the communistic system. I hate everything about communism because everybody abuses the system to get money. I just cannot stand that. I don't want to have anything to do with Democrats because I'm a Republican. Or you grew up in a family that there was so much fight about politics, you don't even want to talk about politics because you're afraid of it. There is a limiting belief with something to do with politics to you. If you don't have that challenge, don't worry about it. But if you do, there's a limiting belief, and what is it? You got to crack the code in that if it's important to you. So now, the challenge with limiting beliefs is this. Most of the time, there is the real truth, right? The real truth of whatever one of these beliefs that you may have, and then there is your truth. Your truth is not the real truth. Your truth is what you have been self-sabotaging yourself. You've been self-sabotaging yourself all your life. That has become a truth, but it's not the truth. It is your truth.
Now that you understand just how critical self-awareness is to the psychology of winning, what can you do in your daily life to become more aware of yourself and of your potential? Let me suggest some action steps you can take right now that will help put you on the road to positive self-awareness. Begin by seeing yourself through others' eyes. Ask yourself these questions. How would I like to be married to me? How would I like a partner like me? Would I like a parent like me? Or a manager like me? Or a child like me? Or even an employee like me? Secondly, evaluate important information. When you read or hear something that impresses you, check out the validity of the statements. Find out how accurate they really are. And in doing so, get input from experts who really know the score. Next, break your daily routine. Try going to work another way. Cut down on television watching and increase your reading. Make new friends with different interests, or start a new hobby, or even a community service project. Finally, take a personal health inventory. At least once a year, have a comprehensive physical exam. Review the lifestyles of your parents and grandparents, and try to break any similar patterns in your life that could harm your health. Instead of buying junk food, try eating fruits and vegetables, and begin a regular exercise program that you can enjoy and that you'll continue. What's holding us back in life? I'll tell you, for me, it's been my self-esteem. And that's the second winning attitude. If I could give the children of the world a box for Christmas for every day, I'd give them a giant box of self-esteem. And they'd open it up and see that it doesn't make any difference what you wear, who you are, what you've done, what you own, what you drive. It's how you feel about what you're doing at any given moment in time. Self-esteem is the deep down inside the skin feeling of your own worth. And that's why, as the second winning attitude, it is the single most important quality, in my opinion. It's the internalization of value. Doesn't make any difference what you're doing. Doesn't make any difference what you did last week. Doesn't make any difference what you're going to do tomorrow, but it makes a difference of how you feel about your potential. It's that feeling. You know, I give programs for young people in the summertime, and they come to youth camps, and I've been trying to help young people understand that it's not designer jeans for tots, and it's not what you're driving or what you're wearing, it's how you're feeling. That's why peer pressure is so strong. You want to belong to a winning team. There'll never be a human being more important than another based upon what you got or how you look or what you do. It's how you feel about yourself. And that's the most important thing, the internalization of value, internal standard. Not comparing yourself down or up with anyone, using competition to keep you honest, keep the quality in and the price right, and setting internal standards and giving your wins away. The three greatest fears that I've come in contact with in my life are the fear of rejection, which is the greatest fear that anyone ever has. It's greater than the fear of anything. The fear of being made a fool of in front of your peer group. Why do you suppose the pressure is on young people to dress, act, and look a certain way? It goes right up into adulthood. We're all the same. We're afraid to have people laugh at us. That's why in kindergarten, they raise their hands. They don't care if they're wrong or right. They just want to answer anything. By the time you get to the fourth grade, you begin to worry about people snickering at you and being wrong. By the time you're in high school, you say, I ain't answering. And when you're a grown-up, you always play it safe with the same kind of friends who have the same beliefs, and that's the way it is. The fear of rejection becomes the fear of change. I don't want to change and set an example. I might get criticized, I might get ridiculed, and it becomes the fear of success.
So choose your pain. Pain is inevitable and unavoidable. We all have plans, but life will knock us down. We aren't always prepared for the pain, and when it hits, we don't always process it. Learning to handle pain is a skill, a type of currency. If you want success, if you want to level up, you need to get acquainted with pain. The pain of discipline, growth, learning, giving, and even forgiving. It all hurts. So pick your pain, choose your hard. At some point, life will challenge you, and you have to process that pain. It's hard to let go of the past, to give up your time, talent, and energy. It's hard to balance work and life. It's hard to learn new skills, to be stagnant or to work relentlessly. It's hard to be lazy. It's hard to manage relationships and turn your mess into your message. But the reward on the other side of these hardships is worth it. Choose reward or regret. Every decision comes with both. Pain has an expiration date. It will end, and when it does, a new challenge will arise, but you'll be stronger for having endured the previous one. Everyone wants resurrection, but nobody wants the pain of self-transformation. There's pain that hurts, and there's pain that changes you. So today, make a decision, choose your hard, rise and grind. You can't expect greatness if you're not willing to put in the work. You get out of life what you put into it. Control yourself, change your thinking, and eliminate negativity. Manifest your future. Life is not responsible for your mindset. Life doesn't control your attitude. You do. You're still alive and your heart is still beating. The journey continues. Stop blaming life when things go wrong. Don't blame life because a relationship failed, a job didn't work out, or a plan fell through. It's not life holding you back, it's your ability to rise above your circumstances. Stop focusing on things you can't control. Ask yourself, what are you made of? What's your mentality? What skills do you have? Start writing down your vision, your goals, financial, relational, spiritual. You're still here for a reason. Someone else may have passed away today, but you're still here with an opportunity. When you take action, dedicate yourself, and put in the work, success will follow. Limits exist only in your mind. Challenges will come. There will be times when you feel like giving up, but you don't have permission to quit. You must keep fighting. What good is greatness if you don't stand firm in it? How can you hold on to who you are if you let every external force convince you that you're not worthy? You have two options. You can give up or you can get up. This is your day. Get up and beat your past self. What are you made of? What's your mentality? What skills do you need to work on? Write down your vision, rise and grind. Your mindset is everything. The true definition of mindset is the driving force behind success and achievement. A mindset rooted in discipline, strength, confidence, and ambition is a powerful mindset. Be faithful and productive. Cast aside destructive thoughts and show the world that you matter. Believe in every step you take, even when you doubt yourself. When you look in the mirror and feel like things aren't where you want them to be, whether it's your finances, your relationships, or your career. Don't let that hold you back. Today, everything changes. Get up and get to work. That's what's going to separate you from the rest. You must be willing to get uncomfortable. Wake up with renewed spirit and passion. You can be just 1% better today than you were yesterday. You're making progress. I wake up at 3 a.m. every day. Some days I wake up at 2:45 a.m. and I think, I've got 15 more minutes. But then I remember that I might not wake up at 3 a.m. if I go back to sleep. I can't afford to push my dreams away. What's that one thing you're telling yourself? What is it you want to achieve? Don't just want to be a beast, actually be one. Get into beast mode and stay there. You have one life to live, it's time to get it done. Are you tired of just thinking about it? Are you focusing more on the risk than the reward? Are you letting the pain of the process overshadow the glory? Don't listen to the wrong voices. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. They will never come. You're not always going to feel like it. You're not always going to see the path clearly, and you may not have the resources right now, but the question is, how bad do you want this? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you ready to put in the work? Are you tired of being the same version of yourself? The prize goes to the hardest worker in the room. Get your schedule up, get your life up, get your words, heart, actions up. Every single thing you do should be phenomenal, so the life you want to live becomes the life you can live. If you're not putting in 120%, if you're not all in, you won't reach the next level. It starts with you. You can listen to 1 million motivational speeches, but you have to wake up and make a decision to act. If you're tired of being stuck, if you're tired of not hitting your targets, if you're tired of not being intentional and consistent, you already have everything you need to start. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Stop waiting for people to believe in you. Your dreams are phenomenal. You have a phenomenal future waiting for you. But you are average. The challenge is to move from average to good to great, and from great to phenomenal. Enough is enough. It's time to get out of this place of complacency. I've got things to do, assignments to finish, and a destiny to fulfill. I'm sick and tired of tolerating this misery. Everyone has a dream, a goal, something they want to achieve, but many of you are letting your beast mode remain idle. Turn it on and keep it on. Your life is about to reach a new level when you make that switch. You have a purpose, a dream, something you must achieve. But we are often conditioned to love convenience. The truth is, it's easier to make excuses than to take action. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop thinking I'm not like them or I don't have what they have. The reason you haven't achieved your goals isn't because of anyone else. It's because you haven't stepped up. When will you stop making excuses and start taking responsibility for your life? It's time to stop fearing failure and start embracing the grind, the pain, the pressure. It's all part of the process. Be a champion, be a warrior, and keep your eyes focused on the prize. Stay hungry, trust yourself, push through when it gets tough. Don't quit on yourself or this opportunity. You are here to become the best version of yourself.